Hey everyone, welcome to the Autoimmune Dietitian YouTube channel. My name is Annie. I'm a registered dietitian and I work with people struggling with autoimmune diseases. So when I work with my clients, I help them use both food and lifestyle as a way to improve their symptoms and to hopefully give them energy and joy and their lives back. So today we are talking about inflammation triggers, and the trigger of this week is hormones. So hormones may actually trigger inflammation and flares for some autoimmune diseases. As crazy as that sounds, the reality of it actually makes sense. Hormones are critical for many reactions and functions in our body. Their balance is important to our entire body's ecosystem and for maintaining homeostasis. So it's no surprise that an imbalance can cause a cascade of negative effects, including inflammation. So before I jump into today's discussion, I just want to attach my usual disclaimer to this video that the information in today's talk is not the substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by a medical provider. This is for informational purposes only. So please consult your qualified health professional for any changes you make to your medical care. All right, so let's kick it off by talking about what hormones are. Hormones are chemical messengers that help our bodies run smoothly. These messengers make up the endocrine system, which is a collection of hormones and glands that communicate vital processes and functions within our body. There are two different ways that hormones communicate within our body. The first way is between glands. One gland will secrete a hormone, and that hormone travels to another gland and signals it to release another hormone. An example of this is within the HPA axis, or the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, that's related to our stress response. So your hypothalamus releases a hormone called corticotrophin releasing hormone, or CRH, in response to a stress stimulus. CRH travels to the pituitary gland and signals the release of adrenocorticopic hormone, or ACTH. ACTH travels to the adrenal gland and it releases cortisol. The second way hormones work is between a gland and a target organ. For instance, the insulin released from your pancreas signals your muscles and liver to process the glucose that was triggered by that release of insulin. Okay, so what role do sex hormones play in regulating inflammation? So female sex hormones are a key player in managing inflammation. In fact, one of their other roles besides kind of helping the reproductive system is supporting the immune system. Estrogen, which is our major female sex hormone, affects all aspects of the immune system. First, it has a really important job of managing the production of both B and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes are the immune cells that make antibodies, and T lymphocytes control how our immune system responds. Second, estrogen regulates cytokines, which are signaling proteins that help control inflammation. Estrogen also has several other functions within the immune system, and there's too many to list, and I just want to give you a couple of the most basic ones, and the other ones are a lot harder to explain. So just know that estrogen touches all aspects of the immune system. Progesterone is another key female hormone. This hormone also has an immunosuppressive action on the immune system and may dampen T cell activation. T cells are a part of your immune system that help coordinate immune responses. So in other words, progesterone may help lessen an immune response or an autoimmune response by slowing down or stopping the immune system from attacking itself. So super important. So how do these sex hormones affect autoimmune diseases? So while it may seem that both of these hormones protect autoimmune diseases and do, really good things with the immune system, that is actually not the case. In some autoimmune diseases, shifts in hormones either have a protective or a triggering effect. And this is mainly due to estrogen. Because estrogen affects all aspects of the immune system, it can have differing effects for different autoimmune diseases, because every autoimmune disease is different and is affected by different parts of the immune system. So here are a few of the diseases that estrogen affects. The first is rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease that affects joint tissues. When estrogen is low, symptoms tend to be worse for those with RA, which makes sense because women tend to either develop this disease or have relapses right after pregnancy when estrogen levels drop. Additionally, many women are diagnosed with RA around the menopause era when estrogen levels tank. During pregnancy, when estrogen levels are higher, most women with RA tend to see improvements in symptoms or even go into remission. The second autoimmune disease is lupus. Systemic lupus erythematosus attacks joints, organs, and blood vessels. Estrogen has the opposite effect on lupus than it does on RA. Lower levels of estrogen is actually protective against the disease progression. With lupus, there is a lower prevalence of disease development after menopause. However, women with lupus tend to have an increase in disease activity during pregnancy. Multiple sclerosis is the last one I'm going to talk about, and this is an autoimmune disease that affects the nervous system. The estrogen effect on multiple sclerosis is very similar to rheumatoid arthritis in that higher estrogen levels are protective for those with this disease. Again, there is an increase in multiple sclerosis cases in women over 50, which may be explained by the drop in estrogen around this time. So what can you do to rebalance your hormones? Again, not all women are affected by hormonal shifts. However, if you notice that your autoimmune disease symptoms have a repetitive pattern around your menstrual cycle, or it's tend to be getting worse as you get older and heading into perimenopause or menopause, it might be time to investigate your hormone levels. There's several tests that you can do to understand your hormones. My personal favorite is the Dutch test because it looks at all hormones and metabolites, so you can see if it's a hormone issue or a hormone metabolism issue. There are certain herbs that also may help support hormone levels. And lastly, there's hormone replacement therapy once you uncover a true hormonal imbalance. Again, it's super important that you work with a practitioner who understands these nuances and will be able to support you in whatever path you decide to take. So just to summarize, today we talked about hormones, what they are, how they play a role in the immune system and inflammation, how they affect autoimmune disease, and then what you can do if your hormones may seem out of balance. If you would like more help managing your autoimmune disease by way of diet or lifestyle, I would love to chat with you. I offer free 15-minute discovery calls to learn about your goals and to see if I am a good fit for you. So go to the link that is in my YouTube profile and you will find that there, and you can just click on the link and book a free call. You can also check out my website, AnnieRubin.com. I've got lots of free downloads there to help you manage your autoimmune disease. I have a very extensive blog. And lastly, I put out a weekly newsletter that comes to your inbox every Thursday morning, so you can subscribe to that. If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. You will not hurt my feelings. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please hit that little subscribe button. These come out about every week. Always trying to give you lots of tips on how to manage your autoimmune disease with diet and lifestyle and other things. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.